This, my friends, is the story of Heidi, who built her first startup leveraging no-code tools and was able to scale it to $30,000 a month in recurring revenue. Welcome back to Startup Studio, everyone. My name's Christian Peverelli, and I am the co-founder of WeAreNoCode. We teach entrepreneurs how to build their startup ideas leveraging no-code tools. And before I get into the episode today, I want to present to you a great friend of mine, Molly, my dog, one of my two dogs. You love me? She clearly loves me. Okay, Ojha, you get a little stardom moment as well. Like, subscribe to this channel. If not, she's gonna be very disappointed. And if you wanna learn the basic process of launching a startup as a non-technical entrepreneur, we actually have a free course below, so make sure to check that out. Okay, now let's get back to business. Heidi was a first-time entrepreneur, and she was one of the top cited researchers for musculoskeletal health. What does that mean? You got a pain in your neck, you got a pain in your back, you got to get that fixed, you need surgery, you're going to see people like Heidi. So she had a huge amount of experience in the field when she chose to launch her startup, Aware Health. But despite having all this experience, she had a major problem. She did not know how to program, and it was also the first time that she was building a startup, so she had no experience. And she had tried to find a technical co-founder, and unfortunately, that had not been easy for her. And of course, like most ideas these days, it's going to require a website to be built, an app to be built to get it off the ground and get first revenues. Now, funny enough, one day, Heidi stumbled upon one of the webinars that I was putting on, explaining a little bit more about this fascinating new technology called no-code. Now, for those of you who don't know what no-code is, it essentially is a set of tools that allow you to build software like websites or apps without having to write any code. They're also known as visual programming tools that allow you to essentially drag and drop functionalities and create logic in plain English to build software. You can build apps like Uber, Twitter, Airbnb, and much, much more leveraging these tools. And they've been developed over the past maybe 10 years, but it's only been in the past 2 years that they've gotten to the point at which the power of them allows you to build a huge number of things. And may I add that they are completely disrupting early stage entrepreneurship, education, and the workforce at whole. So after discovering our program, the No-Code Startup, she jumped in and started building a first website leveraging a tool called Webflow. In parallel to this, she was learning how to build and launch her startup leveraging proven startup methodologies. Things like customer discovery to understand what the actual consumers needed, to create a smoke test, which would test whether or not, if she had built this entire product, if people would actually come use it and would be willing to pay for it too. Now, once she was ready to build out her app, she was able to build it in only 8 weeks, leveraging a powerful no-code tool called Bubble. Now, the platform she was building was really trying to solve one major issue, that most people who had these musculoskeletal health issues were being told to get operated on, which was costing companies so much money. It was the second expense after actual payroll expenses was insurance to help people with those problems. Why? Because when they went to see a practitioner, they automatically sent them to the operating table. And oftentimes the operations didn't really solve the problem. So what Heidi did is that she built a platform, a web app that would allow people to be treated based on their different level of need, right? Someone who would just have simple needs would be able to follow an online curriculum with videos and would have full telehealth service through this app. People who were much more severe could have one-on-one sessions with professionals. Now, once she had built the platform, she was able to test it with a couple small, medium businesses who were self-insured. So they really had the most to gain from getting their employees the treatment that they needed and save costs. So with this platform built with no-code, she was able to get to $30,000 in monthly recurring revenue. But even better, she was able to take these use cases and prove that she could save them that 70%, which was really powerful when she approached other customers with those numbers and told them that she could get the same results for them as well. Now, at this point, she had a lot of things going on. She was running the technology. She was running sales and marketing. She was running the customer support. She was running pretty much everything within her startup with the help of a colleague. And so it was clear at this point that she was going to need some help to grow this business. So even though she built out her whole platform leveraging no-code, she knew she wanted to have someone to own the technology. And guess what? Since she had already proven the model and was at $30,000 in monthly recurring revenue, she was able to capture the attention of Jim Jenkins, an experienced CTO and previously the founder of other companies as well. Now, finding a technical co-founder is difficult, but once you have traction and have proven the model, it becomes increasingly easy to get someone to leave their high-paying job or to take a sacrifice or a shot on your startup. Now, as Jim was continuing to build out the platform, Heidi was able to focus more on sales marketing and started shifting her attention towards fundraising. So at this point, we trained her on how to pitch her company and create a nice pitch deck to be able to approach some of the investing accelerators. And because I knew that she was now ready for this next step in her journey, I introduced her to the managing director of TechStars Los Angeles, whose name I will keep completely anonymous. Shout out to you, Matt. Now, after applying for the program and going through a series of interviews that she crushed, she was able to get into the accelerator and was part of the 2022 spring cohort. And before I keep going on with the story, please like and subscribe to this channel. We teach you tricks and tips to launch your business with no technical skills. And every like and every subscribe and every comment just keeps my heart warm to continue to do everything that we do in this channel for free. So back to the story. At this point, Heidi was at $240,000 in annual recurring revenue and had more than 2,000 paying customers on a monthly basis in her platform. Not to mention that now that she had given some of the responsibilities to a chief technology officer and was able to fill up her sales pipeline with $10 million worth of sales. So once demo day came around and she pitched in front of a bunch of investors, she was able to get an oversubscribed round and raised $680,000 for her pre-seed round. And for those of you who don't know what oversubscribed is for a round of investment, it just means that there are way more investors than you can actually handle, which is a good thing, right? And of course, investors included TechStars, but the investment round was also led by Impulsum Venture Collab. And today she's off for the races and is raising her seed round, which is the next round after the pre-seed. Now, some of the important points I think you'll want to remember from this story is that Heidi, when she began, had no experience and she had no technical skills. But instead of going out there and trying to find investors who would invest for her to be able to build the product, she built a first product herself, proved the model, got revenue, and along the way, it was way easier by leading by example to convince incredible people to join her team, which allowed her to further scale and raise capital for her startup. So if you're considering building a startup, I highly recommend for you to check out our program at WeAreNoCode. We're gonna teach you the step-by-step process to actually build a company, launch it in the market, test, adapt, find product market fit, and then prepare yourself for the next step. Whether you're looking to keep 100% of the shares and you're looking to bootstrap, or if you want to raise capital and grow like wildfire. I also want to remind everyone here that if you're in the mindset of comparing yourself with people like Heidi, remember that Heidi started off from the ground and built this from her own merit, day by day, working hard, not always having great days. Let's face it, entrepreneurship is hard. And so if you're considering this path, want to build that startup idea that you've always had, I highly recommend for you to break this into smaller steps. Stop comparing yourself to people who are ahead of you, because everyone starts one day. And the day you start, you have to accept that you're a beginner. So like and subscribe to this channel for more tips. Thanks for joining us till the end of this video. Have an awesome day. Let's go.